Okay, now time for the next Soviet impulse, and let's draw the two cards. And let me get them here in front of the camera. I'll try not to move the camera. And yep, these are the two cards, and it's both from Vorna's front, 40th Army and 13th Army. Wow. And okay, they're both primary, so highest command value is 13th Army, so this is going to be our command card, and the other one is going to be our auxiliary card. But what we do, the first thing we do, since this is the auxiliary card, we check for command event, and the command event again is a command delay, and the command delay according to the event charts means that we there are 4 more cards in the Soviet draw pile, so I return it to the draw pile and shuffle. So again, no auxiliary card, it gets back, and at this rate, I'm afraid I'm going to run out of German impulses way before the Soviet cards finish. So, but okay. So this is going to be our primary card. It's Voronezh front at last, and the first thing we do is check for objective relocation. Let me remind you that the objective for the front is right here, Zmiev, right under our this unit from 2nd SS Corps. Let's just a little bit so that you can see it better, and let's change the focus a little bit and see if we have to relocate it. And okay, I think we can see both the objective here and the Voronezh front units here. These are this orange, let's say, background. And okay, let me run through this quickly. The active front is Voronezh, of course. So no unit, of course, occupies the objective hex. No unit occupies a hex adjacent to the German occupied hex, which is the case. And the last is any unit of the Voronezh front proximate to the unoccupied objective hex. It's not unoccupied, it's occupied, so I would say no. But even if it was unoccupied, let me remind you a little bit about movement and social control. It would have, in order to be proximate, it would have to be able to reach and enter the hex, and you can see there is quite distance. Right now our zone of controls link up with each other. I mean, there is a path. No, there is no path. I can't right now. No, there's no way for a unit of Voronezh front to reach Zmiev. So I'm not going to spend any more time. I think I have explained these things quite in detail. Feel free to leave a comment if you want some more analysis, and if you want me to explain it better. But no front marker relocation. So you have checked for relocation, and now we have to check for we will check for relocation. Now we go to movement. So I mean, the first we examine the commands on the card, this upper card, not the combat tactics, these commands in turn, and apply the first one that can be applied. So we have to check if we can activate all units in the army, and of course we can activate them because there are, let me just remind you, there are some prerequisites for activation, and it just requires that there is at least one non-isolated unit of this formation to be on the map or in the reserve box. So I mean, it's obvious that this prerequisite is met, at least for the first few turns it will always be met. So we're proceeding with activation. We have already checked, made the objective check. It should be the first step in activation, not I mean, okay, I should have first check which command to apply in there, but okay. So we go to movement methods for one more time. Okay, so third tank army is these units over here with the cyan, the light blue ribbon on top, 3T, of course. So let's go to movement methods. Turns, it's turn 1, so turns 1 to 4 we follow the methods, the A group of methods. And okay, first one, take VP hex. We examine in descending order the units, and we would start with this one, but there is no, it's obvious there is no VP hex to be taken. I mean, the closest unoccupied VP hex would be, well, it would be Chugev down here or Belgorod down here, and it's obvious, as I've said earlier, from the way I have placed my units and their zones of control, that they cannot take the VP hex. They can take any VP hex right now, so I'm not going to examine them one by one. It's quite obvious. Let's save some time here. And then the other one, adjacent. The second method, we go ascending order, and we go adjacent to VP hex, German VP hex, and near objective. The objective is down, so down here. You can see the. Let's not change the focus, but I will when it's necessary to see what's happening. And but adjacent to German VP hex, there's the only yes, there is here. I forgot about Volchansk. Okay, let's see in ascending order if any unit can reach Volchansk, and if this will be closer to the objective. Okay, ascending order, let's examine the number 1 selector is here, so it's 6. It's 1 here, it's 3 here because +1, it's mechanized, +1 to cross a minor river, +1 for the hex, so it's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no, it can't happen. Let's try with the next selector unit, ascending order. This one here, it's closed, just have to cross a river, so it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yes, this one can reach and will be closer to objective. Obviously it will be closer to the objective because from here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hexes, but if this unit is here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hexes. So yeah, both of these are true. So what this unit will do, will move from here. We'll try to let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it has reached Volchansk. It could go 5. It has to stop, but it could it could go 4, 5, 6 or 4, 5, 6. And let's see if there are any preferences. VP hex exclusively by yes, occupied by the least German, okay, no choice, not across, okay, with the highest VP value, yes, and okay, there are still preferences, so I think, let's see, 925, it's got something for us, because these restrictions apply at the tactical preferences when moving adjacent to German units. This is the case here. To all moves, so then take priority over preferences, okay, and adjacent prefer a hex within the current operation limit, or the map is in operation limit. A hex that would cause the German unit to become surrounded, no chance. A hex in Soviet support, everything is in support right now. A hex not adjacent to a Soviet unit, okay. An empty or garrison hex, everyone. A hex not occupied by an activity. So all of these 3 hexes are eligible, because as I've said, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it could go 5 here and stop zone of control. It could go 5, 6 here, and the same 5, 6 here. So then let's see, tiebreakers. If more than 924, if no more than one destination hex meets the requirements and preferences, prefer closest to the unit objective marker if in play, okay. So this hex is let me change, okay, that's better. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it will actually go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It will end, spend its entire mode, and it will end here, because it's the preference we have to take into account. And then that was number 3. Number 4 is here, it's 6, and I don't think, because it's the same, goes, it's the same situation. It's 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it isn't. So we go to 5, which is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, this one can go. And let me, is there any other? 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 4, yeah, that's the only hex it can reach, so no question about 1, 2, 3, 4, there are no other preferences to examine. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit of, pressure. Okay, let's see what happens. And yeah. Okay, haven't forgotten anything. No. Next, it's number 6. Again, it can reach. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, or 5, 6. The same as with the previous unit. So again, we have to check 925, and 925 I call okay, not surrounded, not adjacent to Soviet units. I mean, all of the hexes are already adjacent to, or with stacked with the adjacent unit, and the case E, an empty or garrisoned hex. Okay, this hex is in empty, so we will prefer it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6. So it will go here. and we have effectively flanked our unit. Okay, next selector number, we said ascending, it's 7, so it's 8. It has a little bit more movement, but I don't think it can go because it would be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it can't go further than this line, so no chance of getting into German VP hex as the situation is. So no. 8, so it's 8. It's 9. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Infantry doesn't pay to cross a minor river. No, but it can't get adjacent to German VP hex. So next one is number 10. Number 10 is here, and it would pay +1 to exit. It would go 2, 3, 4. No. And number 15. Okay, no chance. Just 2 here, 3 here, and 4 and away. And just for the sake of it, let's 24. Last one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's adjacent to other units, but not adjacent to the hex. I'm sorry. Okay, you haven't seen all of this, but I was checking these units, and it was obvious that no unit has enough movement points to get into one of these hexes and be adjacent to Wolfgang. And so this concludes movement method number 2. Now, movement method number 3, upper supplying lines, doesn't get into play until turn 3. So we go to movement methods 4 and 9. Movement method 4. Now, as you remember, 3rd Tank Army is a spearhead formation, so we don't examine methods 4 to 9 for spearhead units unless we don't examine unless they occupy a city or a town. And let me see if any of these occupy. I mean, no, the city is here. It's 6th Army. No town here. So no unit of the Soviet 3rd Tank Army will examine methods 4 to 9. So we go straight to movement method 10, which is ascending order, and it calls for us to follow the movement arrows. Okay, ascending order. So we start with number 1, and the movement arrow is here, and the clause for this, the prerequisite for this, is that you have to be able to spend all of the unit's movement points following the primary or the secondary arrows. So, and we go, I think it would go, the primary arrow is here, 1 and 3 because we cross the river, and 4 and 5 and 6, and yes, it can reach here. It has expanded all its movement points. Preferences, no preferences. I don't think anything changes. There were unoccupied hex and fortressing hexes from the blue starting hex. Yeah, closest to objective. Yeah, I think it's pretty close. Follows primary movement arrows. Okay, so no need to examine secondary direction. I think it's pretty clear where it would go. Next one, we have the same one. Now number 4. I think it's the same again. It will end up in exactly the same spot. So it's 1, it's 3, it's 4, it's 5, it's 6. So these units have moved. Okay, let's go now to number 8. See something. There is the preferences for movement in an occupied hex first. Oh no, first for the in hexes. Let me, because this following the secondary movement arrow. Yeah, it could reach here, and which would be this is the preference that would end in an occupied hex, which is the first preference, and yeah, I think we should go for this because it's the first preference here. This one, it could go. Let's play it again. So it's 1, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. It could be here, here, or here. But the forward arrows, this is the primary here, the secondary here. You have to check for the arrows, not the other direction. So, since this hex is unoccupied and there is a secondary arrow, and let me show you. You can see, but let me zoom a little bit in. Yeah, you can see this little V here. It says that what it means is that is good. This secondary arrow is good just for the Voronezh, whatever, front, not for the southwestern. But so we are Voronezh front, of course. So okay, that's better. So it's movement method 10. Follow movement arrow. Unit 4 has moved. Let's go to 9. So yeah, it's same. 1, 2, 3. No secondary arrows. So no primary arrows. So no preferences here. We spent. It's okay to stack units. The rule just prevents you, from getting everything in the same hex as far as possible. And it's ascending. Oh, sorry. I should have first moved number 8. So let me get this back. And yeah, it's number 8. Forgot about it. But that's the same thing. This hex has a primary arrow. Okay, the primary arrow points to this direction, and of course this direction, let's see if he can spend, and then goes here. It would go 1 and in this town, but it would stop because it would be in the zone of control of this little lone unit here. So this cannot follow the movement arrows, but you can see they can go. Yes, if you were a player, this is what you would probably do, but the game system is following its own rules, so it will not go there. So then we skip the method for this unit. Okay, move, so it goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's number 9. So number 10. Number 10. Number 10. We can move number 10. It doesn't say if it starts adjusting to. There are some restrictions, but I mean it's not causing surround at the moment. This unit is not surrounded, so. It's no point, and it doesn't cause any unit to become proximate, and we have to check about it to a German VP hex, to Soviet VP hex, and the others are for but we can move this unit, but can we follow ours? Yes, we can pay. It says in method 10 that we can pay 1 movement point to exit a zone of control, but the primary movement arrow, and would get us again into zone of control. Zone of control to zone of control is forbidden no matter what. But we can move by the secondary arrow. There is a secondary arrow here, so we would pay. Its infantry doesn't get to pay penalty for crossing the river, so it would be 1 for the clear hex plus 1, 2 for the clear terrain here. So it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, and yes, it can get there, extend using all its movement points, and so it's a valid move. Let me check. It was not surrounded, this unit, so no. And is it possible for a German unit to become proximate to this, because this unit has moved? No, you see, there is zone control here. Zone, it can't go through here and go here, of course, but it can't go through here and reach. Again, there's no gap here, and this is occupied, so there's no proximity to the hex, the VP hex here, and that proximity, of course, is not dependent on the movement of this unit. So let's check number 15. Okay, now number 15 starts adjacent to, but let's see the primary. Okay, the primary arrow is straight into our unit there, so it can't obviously follow the primary arrow, and there is no. Sorry. Okay, and you have to look a little bit closer. It's huge. It's hard to see, but there is no secondary arrow. So since there is no secondary arrow, it can't move following the arrow. So we don't examine this option for this unit. And last but not least, let's check number 24 against movement method. So I think it can be followed. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And is there any secondary? Yes, it could go 1, 2, 3, 4, or it could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is where it will go. But of course, the first preference is to end in an unoccupied hex. And again, let me check for proximity, because now there's no unit to control. So this one would have to go 2 plus 3 plus 4. No, and some more mobile unit. Let's check against a more mobile unit, and again here there's a, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's too. The other units are too far away. Just and here. No, this is you could go here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but again, as you can see, it cannot reach its destination. So let's go to method movement 11, which is move closest to front objective, and it's just ascending order. So we have to move to a hex closer to units front, not the same distance. Prefer hex closest to the front objective, adjacent to German occupied hex with least strength, and of course an empty hex. And since the objective is since the objective is all the way down here, Zmigniew, and I mean, even if it moves 1 hex, it will be closer. But let's see if we can get it to adjacent to the, we get, okay, so here is adjustment. If we can get it to an empty hex, and let me see if we've got tactical preferences. A hex that because the German unit becomes around. So let's check if it can reach this hex. It's 7, it's 1, it's 2, it's 4 here, it's 5, it's 6, 7. So yes, it can, according to the tactical preferences. It is closer to the objective here, and it can cause surround. So let me just measure them again. It's 1, it's 2, plus 2, cross and clear, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I didn't go here because it would have to stop a zone of control. So it goes 4, 5, 6, 7. It can get around and surround this this unit. So this unit is surrounded, and it's obviously closer to the objective because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whereas it started from here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Obviously closer, no matter. And last unit we're going to check is number 15, but number 15, number 15, can it move closer to the front objective? No, because there is this restriction. If it moves, even if it moves here, or no, if it moves here, we have to check for surround. Could this unit move closer to the front objective while keeping this unit surrounded? That's the question. Because if we can't do that, we can't move the unit. So let me see. It would first have to go out of the zone of control. It would have to go here, but it's quite more logical to check for here. It goes 2, goes 2, and then here, no, I think it's the same distance. It could go 2, 3, 4, and let me check, and still this unit would be surrounded. And would it be closer? Let me check, because from here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So no, it's not closer. If it moves here, it can't reach the other hexes are obviously further, because this row is, I think, 9. Can't get it any closer, maybe here, but if we move it the other direction, let's move it, we could move it here, we'd have to stop then, or if it could, it's 2 plus 3 plus 4, it could reach here, but then this unit would become unsurrounded. So I don't think this unit can move at all. I mean, it could move, could get here and keep this unit surrounded, but it wouldn't be following the method. You have to follow the method. It wouldn't be closer to the front objective. So I don't think this this will happen. And last method, 12, we only got one unit to check. This one is strengthen potential attack, and it says if not adjacent to a German unit, it is already adjusted, so number 12 will not be examined. And this concludes our movement, the movement for the 3rd Tank Army, and we'll get back to you soon with the next step of the attack checks.